Hello and welcome or welcome back. My name is Isabel, and our topic for today is self-love. So, as usual, we will have a healing session, a clearing session around the topic, and afterwards talk a little bit about what else can play a role when it comes to, in this case, self-love. So, yeah, if this is new to you, this will be an instructive healing session, meaning that we're instructing our systems to release and let go of whatever we can at this point. So basically, we're calling forth an energetic response and releasing emotional charges and hurts that we might carry that can get in the way of experiencing more self-love. And yeah, just bringing more love towards ourselves into the relationship with ourselves. So I will be speaking some things out loud, just so that you know, not all of it, but just some of it. And yeah, and just know that you're always in charge. Always shifts are happening within you. So it's not that anyone's doing anything to you. And you will only work with whatever is meant for you at this time. So you can lay down, you can sit up, whatever feels right to you. But just get comfortable and pause the video if you need to, and then we can get started. And when you're ready, and you can just close your eyes, start shifting within, going within, and just start by deepening your breath. And follow your breath into your body, deep into your belly. And also just notice if there's any sensations coming up anywhere in the body. Maybe there's tightness somewhere, maybe constriction, numbness. And whatever it is, just breathe into it, having the intention to relax when you breathe out. And just keep coming back to your breath. And yeah, just try to stay in your body as best as you can. And if you drift off, that's okay. Doesn't matter. And we'll just get started. Okay, so we're going to start off by clearing on, we'll just start by clearing on self-judgment. Any ways that we judge ourselves. For what we do, what we don't do. How we operate. Any shortfallings. Appearance, the way we look. Any self-judgment. And also just the programming to do so. and the need to find fault with ourselves. Okay, so that's clear on patterns of self-berating, self-criticizing, self-scolding. Self-belittlement also. And all that is attempting really to get to a state where we finally like feel okay, where we finally feel lovable. Like that story of, oh, if I just fix all these perceived flaws, then I will be lovable. So that's clear on feeling flawed, like feeling inherently flawed. And feeling inadequate. Less than. Unacceptable. Not enough. Not worthy. Etc. Okay, so we want to address experiences of times, particularly as a small child, where we didn't feel loved for the way that we were. So when the love that we received was conditional, when it was based on premises. And the hurt from that. We've made that mean about us. And especially here, feelings of rejection. And the conclusions drawn from that. And also the self-rejection coming from that. We also want to clear on the effects of unmet needs from those times growing up. So unmet needs for love, unmet needs for nurture, affection, validation, and how that affected us. Yeah, what's coming up here is like just feeling unloved. Let's release that as much as we can. And feeling unlovable. For some, this is really deeply like feeling deeply unlovable. Yeah, and the grief along with that. I was still working on that. There's like a walling off that then happened because we don't want to feel that. And we also like we close ourselves off from from the experience of love. So let's clear on that mechanisms of closing off. Like it's almost like a default setting. The mechanisms of withdrawal. In any ways that we reject love and withhold love from ourselves. We also want to address like ways that we try to balance out that wounding of feeling unlovable. So like releasing patterns of seeking external validation. Let's address that. And seeking approval from others. And let's clear on a lack of self-approval. And a lack of self-acceptance as well. And also on the definitions that we hold of what can be approved of and what not, and what is acceptable and what isn't. And release any viewpoints, any ideations that we've taken on that are not ours, any external reference points here. And release the idea of just needing to be different somehow. Like the sense of like how I am right now is just somehow not right. It's not okay. Let's release that. Okay. So let's bring online the energy of allowance, like allowing for what is there to be there, and allowing for ourselves to just be with all that entails. And also curiosity, like being more curious to just get to know ourselves better. Like who or what do we find like beyond all those judgments, all those perceived flaws, and all those old hurts? Because anytime that we come up against like these overlays, if you will, they're also an invitation to move beyond current limitations and, yeah, to go deeper. All right, so we will let that integrate for a few minutes. Still address a few things silently. Let that sink in for now. Okay, you can come back. Just take a deep breath. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Yeah. Come back to this when and if you feel called to do so. And yeah, on that note, these are general clearings, so they're aimed at a group field, so it can actually help sometimes to listen more than once, to take it deeper, address different layers. And other times, once is enough. And yeah, only you know that, so trust your inner guidance, your inner knowing on that. And also, if more comes up, especially like in the next couple of days, like more emotions coming up, then just be aware of it, just feel it, allow it to be there. But let it just move through, like don't do anything with it. No spinning stories around it, no attaching thoughts to it. It's just sensations, energy and motion coming through. And yeah, and also be mindful that, sometimes when we have like a thinner skin, then things that come up around us can bring up more than they usually would. So yeah, if that happens, we want to make sure you're like not to go with it. If you hear like, I don't know, a story or something that triggers you, whatever it is, maybe it's just some narrative, whatever. Yeah, don't feed into it. Like, don't go with it. If anything, we can, use those moments and switch around and go into the trigger. Like, what is it bringing up in me? Like, what is stressful about this? Yeah, and then going into it, feeling it, feel it to heal it, and transmute the energy and resolve those charges that we have. So yeah, when it comes to this topic, a big piece is really, yeah, resolving the bigger things, the hurts and the blocks and those emotional charges that we might carry that are in the way, but then also cultivating that relationship with ourselves, so being there on a consistent basis, like continuously showing up and having that commitment to oneself, like being all in for all of it, for the whole experience, not just what feels good, but for whatever comes up and whatever challenges we might have going on at the moment. And yeah, and yeah, be allowing of that, whatever that then is. And it can help then even to let go of, those labels of negative and positive experiences, emotions. I mean, from a soul perspective, there is no negative and positive experience. It's just experience. And even, yeah, when we talk about unconditional love, that's a space of complete neutrality. It doesn't favor, one end over the other. And I get it. I mean, I too like feeling good, and we all seek pleasure, right? So that's yeah, that's just something that we naturally gravitate towards. But yeah, we don't want to dismiss and suppress whatever else is going on. So being there consistently and checking in and being aware of our needs and taking care of that and taking responsibility for that, for our needs, and then also for how we feel, because ultimately no one else can make us feel a certain way. It might seem that way, but they can just bring it up in us. They can't force that onto us. And even when I say someone else makes me feel this way, like what I'm doing besides the blame in there, I'm giving responsibility away, and I'm also giving authority for how I feel to someone else. And yeah, that's very disempowering. So we don't want to do that. So if we notice that going on, then we want to bring that back on us And that's when we can shift, because that's when we can go within, address whatever is there, and yeah, neutralize that. And resolve that so that we don't carry that anymore, right? Another thing that can help here, I find, is when we look at that relationship with ourselves, like we would look at the relationship with another. So when we think of someone that you like, chances are that you're not going to be that conditional, right? You're not going to say, not even going to think, okay, I maybe I like you a little bit now, but I'm gonna like you a whole lot more, or I'm gonna love you once you once you achieve that goal, once you lose those 10 pounds, once you, I don't know, change your ways, get over those patterns, get whatever's not functioning well to function well. Like, no, we're not gonna do that. And there's gonna be a whole lot more compassion and understanding, and yeah, just like a loving allowance for what is there. If we can bring a little bit of that more towards ourselves too, that can go a long way. And also towards our bodies, because a lot of times we carry so much shame and judgment and all of that just around the body from early on. And then we might try to change something externally to fix that feeling, but ultimately it's not going to do it. And it doesn't mean not to change something. Sure, we want to feel good about ourselves, and yeah, and also about the way that we look. But ultimately, it's not gonna address what's really going on. So if we have like a lot of judgment and a lot of shame and feel unlovable, that won't go away. We'll just show up in different ways. So then maybe we start sabotaging ourselves, or withholding something from ourselves, all those stories of, yeah, I can't have what I desire unless I change this, or until I have that, or, fix this, do that. Which is basically suggesting over and over again, okay, I'm not lovable now. I'm not good enough yet. I'm not worthy yet. Not as directly, but that's what we're doing then. Yeah, and then also, when again looking at the relationship with another, what you're attracted to is not all those surface level things, right? That's not what you love about them. It's, you're attracted to the overall energy, and it's not going to be about all those details that we make it about when it comes to ourselves. And it's not going to be about, just all appearance and what they got to show for, and what their CV looks like, and what their past looks like, and all of that. No, it will be about what's behind that, right? What's beyond that, what's deeper than that. And sure, we might be attracted to their appearance as well, but even that is coming ultimately from within. It's a reflection of that. And that's the other way around too. And so maybe we can make it more of a focus, the things that we do cherish, that we do value about ourselves, which we all have. I mean, there's plenty of things that we actually can appreciate about ourselves. Maybe you value your health, given that you feel healthy. Maybe you value your any skills or your abilities, your gifts. Maybe you value your wisdom, like we all have wisdom. Maybe you value certain qualities that you cultivated, whatever it is. And sure, it can be something external as well, but yeah, making that more of a focus. And that will really be the main points for today. Yeah, addressing the bigger pieces, whatever can get in the way of allowing more love for ourselves, bringing more of that in. And then taking responsibility for our needs, for how we feel, bringing more ease into that relationship, more compassion, more understanding, and And yeah, focusing on what is right, what we can cherish, what we do like. And again, being there for all of it with consistency, the good, the bad, the ugly, the everything in between, the whole shebang. So yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.